one of my favorite fights probably were the Battle of Megiddo we did. It was a pretty big map we had made, that Core made for us. It's basically this really big map with a few bridges, and the bridges are the ones that like connects to the platforms, and you have to cross those bridges to get to these platforms, and you have to kill people to get through there, obviously. And there was these checkpoints, and we did clones versus droids, or basically the Republic versus the Confederacy of the Independent System, or CIS, as they're called.
Welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Oma Man Raptor, and we got one hell of a guest here today, and that is...
That is me. I'm GhostDK. I'm part of the United Republic, and I'm the leader and the owner of it. What's up?
Yo,
Shit, I can't do the fucking fingers proper.
Thank you very much for joining us, Ghost. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
It's great to have you here, Ghost.
Indeed, Future Oracle was really excited to introduce us together, by the way.
They are. It is interesting.
So let's just get to the meat and potatoes of it. How'd you get into VR? What are you most known for? And how did the United Republic get started and your involvement with it?
So the way I got into VR was because I had one of my friends talking about VRChat and shit, and I also had a VR headset himself. He gave it to me. I tried it out. Thought it was pretty funny. Walked around from I think the start of 2020 around Corona. I just did my own thing for a long time, and yeah, that's how it kind of started. And the way with the United Republic, how that started, it started way before me, actually. It started with a group called the 501st, and then it was called another thing, and then in the end it was called the United Republic and stayed like that. I knew about them beforehand. They tried to recruit me a long time ago, but I was too busy. But when we came to be the United Republic, I joined in one of the roles to see what the avatars they had and shit. I got jump scared of one of the old owners. He fucking jumped me. We're like, hey, what's up? Do you want to join the United Republic? I said, yeah, sure. Let me try. I went into an event, and it was just pure chaos, funny times, and actually a bunch of people just being themselves and having a good time.
Oh,
and I like that. So that's how it kind of started in it, and I started recruiting for things in there. I started really working for it, became a faction leader, and then later on a staff member, and now I'm one of the owners, actually the owner and the leader of the group.
Wow.
So... And yeah, if we're gonna go actually how it fully started was basically because they wanted to make something funny, something good, something people could enjoy.
Oh wow!
Now when you ask about also if what I'm known for, so when it comes to VRChat wise, I'm known for in the great part to be that funny clone trooper Star Wars nerd, as everybody knows in there. Since I'm going around doing like a sort of like a voice acting, as you can say, I'm making my voice to sound like a clone trooper. I walk around and talk like that towards people, and being goofy, and just mess around with them, and they like it a lot. They even have set my name up with a avatar they have that actually puts stuff into the world. They put my name on a Christmas stocking in there and put some weaponry in there from Star Wars because of me.
Oh wow!
So they're really happy with having me around.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
So I guess
Ghost, I gotta ask this, Ghost. Since you got into VR and everything else like this, what's the weirdest thing you ever seen in VR?
Oh, well, shit. I need to think now. It was something I saw in the Great Parks. Two people doing something that is not really something that should be said. Like it's not really PG to make needs to say that I saw. That's probably the weirdest thing I ever saw. Well, it's either that or a person that kind of like slipped and felt in real life, and it looked really fucking goofy because his trackers were like, jumping around and all that at the same time, and you just hear him scream, and that was really fun to look at. But that's probably those two weirdest things that I've ever seen.
Fair.
Okay.
So,
cool.
A bit after what you said, I would like to ask: would you mind explaining what is the United Republic? And the origins and how it went from what it was known as into United Republic. Explain kind of all of that to us so people know. So,
as said, we started as a 501st, or they started as a 501st. And the reason why was because they joined the Star Wars group. There was a bit over at the milsim side of it, and they didn't really like that. So they were like, you know what? To hell with it. Let's make our own. And they started doing that. They started recruiting people. They've been through hell and back with those groups. Like they had to change the name and all that to restart, and we knew because they wanted to try something new out and so on and so on. And when they became the United Republic, then we're like, okay, this is it. This is where we are, and this is where we're gonna stay. And we went around trying to make a good reputation for ourselves by, befriending the LPD, for example, or going around talking to people in the public, like going around recruiting slowly, not seeming like we're raiding or anything like that, just going up and talking to people and ask if they're interested. And what we are now is we are, as I would say, the group is just a bunch of people with autism, probably ADHD, like people that are really energetic and having a good time, that just like Star Wars, or they like shooting each other and playing and be part of the game nights, for example, that we do, or hangout events and all that. They just like being part of the whole thing, because when people, as I heard people say to me, when they join the group, they feel like that when we talk to them, that we are best friends with them immediately, that we have known them for a long time, because we welcome people with open arms. So that's what we are. We are a multi-purpose group that does RP, PvP, gaming nights, you name it, basically everything. Also collabing with communities from time to time.
Oh, wow. So, are you a roleplay community or a fan community, may I ask?
Well, I would say we are probably like both in a way. Like we are fans as well, but we also like a little bit on the roleplay side. So when it comes to that, a lot of us is fans, and a lot of us knows about Star Wars. We also do have some people, of course, that doesn't know about it, but they just like the community. They like to have fun. They like to go around and shoot things. But as I would call it, is a multi-purpose, because we do the roleplays. We go around patrolling. We're going around, doing that, talking to people, having like acting in a way of, a clone trooper, for example, or we go in and do PvP, where we use our weapon we have on our avatars as well to shoot each other or shoot against other groups, and doing pure chaos with that. So we like a bit of both things of fan and RP when it comes to it. But we're not a serious group, though. We don't take anything seriously. Really, we're just having a good time. So.
Okay. So, what are some of your events like, and what are some of your favorites or most memorable from the group over time since it started, Mask?
Oh, you know what? That is a really, really good question. One of my most memorable ones would probably be like from this year, that I remember the most because it was one of the funniest shit I ever seen. It was basically doing a gaming night. We were playing this game called Slashco, I think it were. And we were running, my and another buddy, we were running around with each other, talking, goofing around. Suddenly we see the Cookie Monster. I scream and I run away, and the guy was right behind me. I turn around, I just see him getting eaten by it, and his body's just flopping around in the air, and I couldn't stop laughing. And one of the most other memorable events was a PvP battle that we had against the Ultra Marines, which is also you can call it a sister group, because it's our old owner or founder that made it as well. So we do events with them from time to time. Either way, I remember there was one time we did an event. We were fighting against them. I was shooting against some of them. I turned to my right because I hear like some music. I don't know what the hell it were, but it was some sort of music I heard. I turned to my right and I just see KoreFuze running towards me with a big ass hammer and bonking it onto my head. And the last thing I heard was just bonk, like literally the sounds, and I was dead. That was probably also like a really memorable one because I got scared. I screamed like a little girl.
That'd be something to hear as a stormtrooper fucking squealing like a little girl. Okay, I gotta remember that one in the back of my mind. Wow.
Oh, okay. So how big is the PvP world within the United Republic scene, and what kinds of things do you do with your PvP events?
So with the PvP, it's pretty big because that was how the group started, like fully. We did RP for a little bit when we were, but we hold a long break for it because we needed to, figure some stuff out with that. And we weren't more known for the PvP side. When it comes to the PvP, what we do is all kind of different things. We fight against other communities. We like collab with them, fight against them, and have a good time with that. Or we go and do like a boss battle where suddenly there would be a boss, for example, Jango Fett or Kondoku, or like any of the like Sith canon characters that's been for up to years in the games and the movies and the series. They would be fighting against from time to time. We even had a battle where it was the Battle of Umbara, which was one of the biggest battles in the whole franchise. Basically, just Vietnam in space, technically.
Oh.
And we fought against a guy called Punk Crow, which is a big, tall guy with two lightsabers. But instead of a normal head, he has a PNG for a head. So it looks very terrifying when he's laughing and the head is like jumping around from up and down when it is running towards you. So we do something like that, or we do like team deathmatch, free for all. We actually did a hide and seek before as well, where we had like a bunch of people being these clone troopers that could go invisible, like cloaking, and people had to try and find them. But it could only be cloaking for 10 seconds every time. So when 10 seconds passed, they had to wait for like 10 seconds and then do it again. To make it a bit more difficult. But it was really fun. We also done Ewok hunt, which is like these little fur balls that run towards you and you can't see them, and suddenly they just come up and jump you in the face and stab you. We do everything with that, with the PvP, so it's pretty big for us. But like it's something we do that, but we do other things as well. But PvP has been a really big part for us, and actually helped us a lot to have some really good events.
Okay. So when you're preparing one of those events, how much work goes into the preparations of it? Do you guys have like create worlds? Do you have like do a storyline for the followers? Is it just straight combat? How do you do it?
So when it comes to the PvP, what I would like to do with some of the battles, for example, is like giving a little story, like, hey, there's this bounty hunter that's now on the loose, and you kind of capture him, kind of thing, or kill him, right? I would try and do that. But when it comes to the worlds and shit, we just find a world that suits the situation. For example, there's multiple worlds. There's both Warhammer worlds, some Star Wars worlds, and all that. We even have been preparing for a Battle of Camino before. But it's actually pretty easy. We just find a world, probably make a little story for it if you want to, or you don't have to if that is, and you just, drop a poll, go in before everybody else, set up the thing, and people can just go in and have fun.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty awesome. So from all of the events, what would you say would be your the group's favorite events? Like the people who attend or do the PvP, what would you say be some of their more memorable moments?
I would probably say it's the Ewok hunt or the zombie survival that we did as well.
Oh. So
because we have a zombie avatar as well that we used back then in Halloween, but also the Ewoks. And I remember people said those two were like some of the events they loved the most. But they love every event besides that as well. But those are like the ones that topped off, and probably also in Barra when I think about it, since we did have about 60 people in that instance that day, which was one of the biggest events we ever had. So that is also like probably one of them that people remember the most.
Oh wow! So a question for you after you can explain to us some of the things the group does and your own journey through it. How do you feel in the seeing the group from where you were in the beginning as an attendee to the one sitting in the hot seat? What are your thoughts on that on your journey through, and do you see the group any differently from before and after?
Oh yes, definitely. A lot of things has changed throughout the years. We changed both with like the avatar-wise, making better looking. We changed our worlds. We changed our like memberships and like staff and come and go, and people have come to go and like lift or whatever it could be for any reason. But in the end, now when I see from back then to now, we have changed a lot for the better, in my opinion as well. We're not doing as good on member-wise than we did back in the day, since we did have like a lot of people showing up in our golden age. But even though we have maybe only 10, 12, 15 people showing up, we still having a good time. Like, that's what I like to see. People are happy, people are enjoying themselves, and that makes me happy to see it. And for me, going from, a trainee or a cadet to like the owner now, it's unreal. Is really weird, not gonna lie. When I became it, I wasn't really like I was kind of confused about it, but like I tried my best at least, let's say that. But I kind of got on it as well because I didn't expect it. I kind of felt like asking Kore about it one day because I was like, maybe I should try and see if we can maybe share the ownership. But then he was like, yeah, you can get the whole ownership, that is, and I said, fucking awesome, like really good. So me being there today, I love it because I really love this community. I love the people in here. I love the members. Everybody is great. I love spending time with them. I love doing battles with them, gaming nights, whatever it is. It's always nice because they're just chill, fun people that love to have fun.
Okay. So I have another question for you as well. As a group, because it said you do patrols and stuff out in VRChat. Do you do it in like publics, or is it like privates and stuff? And do you still do those kinds of recruiting style things?
Well, we do it in public, yes, and it is funny enough, yes, it is, as you say, like some sort of recruiting as well, because we show off ourselves towards the people in like certain worlds and shit and all that. Of course, it's going to be hard in certain worlds when it comes to Chris worlds because we are PC only community. But we try our best to make people like be immersive still as much as possible because we try to have fun with it. And I have met people that actually got really like, they were fanning, like they were being a bit of a fangirl towards it because they loved Star Wars, for example. They'd be like, "Oh my god, there's a bunch of group of clone troopers just walking around with their rifles out and like being really cool and all that." And I think that's pretty awesome to look at. Like I found it pretty funny when we had people like that. Like we do them still as well, by the way. We keep doing them. We do them like maybe twice a week, maybe. Like it depends, like what we feel for. But we do them still nowadays.
Wow. So, what is the general VRChat public's response to seeing clone troopers patrol in publics, and has the response to it changed over the years? Because I noticed after a certain point, VRChat kind of became a bit more gated, I guess, as a way in public. So the groups gating and stuff. Has people responded to you differently?
Oh yeah, believe me, in the beginning, funny enough, Star Wars communities hadn't been very popular like back then when we kind of started when the United Republic started, and that's because there has been other communities like ours, like that is kind of like ours, like a clone community, right? Where they go into worlds and they rate those worlds, making people like annoyed at them or pissed off or uncomfortable or anything like that. So obviously back in like when we started doing this with the recruitment runs, we ran around and like talked to people. We heard people being like, "Oh my god, we're being raided again," and all that. But me, whenever I heard that, I walked out to them slowly. Whenever we're not here to raid, if you guys don't like us being here, we will leave. But we're just in here to recruit calmly. We're not trying to do anything. And people appreciated that. And that it took a while to make people realize, hey, this group here, we're just here to chill. But we managed to do it now. And nowadays, people that know me, for example, people that see me with these kind of groups, they'd be like, "Oh, they're with Ghost. That must be like a good thing or something like that." So yeah, it's still pretty fun. We even fight against people doing patrols. Like,
oh really?
People come up to us with weapons and try to stab us or shoot us. We fight against them. And I heard people saying they had fun with that. So that makes me happy.
Oh wow. So VRChat publics are still accepting of the whole public recruitment kind of style thing with you guys. That's actually good to hear.
Yeah. They still are. Though when we do an actual recruitment, sometimes we do make an instance just to be sure, like from time to time, to make people join us instead. Because I found out that's a little bit easier. Because people be like, "Hey, there's a group instance called United Republic. What is that?" They go in there and they see us sit there and chill and talk to each other. So we do that as well. But with the patrolling where we go around and recruit in that way, that works well as well. So people are upset by that. And if people don't like it, they can always just like, they can mute us or whatever. Like, I'm fine with that. If I see that, it's not going to bother me much if somebody mutes me. It's just them not liking it, and I'll accept that.
Okay. So what have been some more memorable interactions with people during your patrols?
Well, I remember one where I did stuff on my own when I was just walking around, which was one of my memorable ones. There was this person I met that was really drunk. They were like, they were having fun, they were partying and all that. I heard them talk about Star Wars weaponry with a person. So I walked out to them and I just pulled this one out, whatever, laid it on the table and showed it to them.
Yep.
Which is like basically MG42 modified in a way to look like a futuristic weapon. And when they saw that, they were like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And they said, "That's a really good avatar." And I said, "Thank you," in my impression voice that I do. And the person looked at me and went like, "Are you doing the voice actually, or are you using like a voice change?" And turn off my voice modifier because I have this radio filter and talk like that. So, and they got so happy and they were nerding about it. They were like literally fangirling over it. Got so fucking happy, and I that was the best like experience I ever had, because that made me so happy to see them like jumping of excitement because they're being autistic in that way, and it was really nice to see, and it made me really happy.
Oh.
Then there was also one where we did a normal patrol where you just had a person looking at us that looked like a robot. They were being at a good old full-on like cybernetic being, and I looked at them. And I looked at my people and were like, "Look, don't call them a clanker," which is a slur word for like droids in Star Wars. And immediately after I said that, my people walked away. I looked at a person and called them a clanker, and they chased us around in the whole instance. And it was really goofy because one of them played like that, that chasing music that is like in most cartoons and shit. One of our members played that while we were running away, and I had never had so much fun as well. That was a really good time.
Oh, that sounds like you had a really fun time. I'm glad to hear that you're getting those kinds of interactions with people. I remember hearing from a few different people the sentiment of the VR chat of old doesn't happen as often in publics anymore. There's no goofy people, no patrols. You don't see that often, but it still does happen, I guess. And I'm glad to see it's all positive.
Yeah, no, for us, we try to show people that we are like a goofy, weird and fun group that just like to have a good time. And I had positive reactions multiple times, but I also have negative reactions, obviously. But whenever that happens, I kind of just go up and be like, hey, we're not trying to cause any trouble. I'm sorry if we annoy you guys or anything like that. Because I don't want to, of course, I don't want to have my group to have a bad reputation. I want us to have like a good reputation. I want people to know, hey, we won't cause any trouble. We won't be assholes.
Understandable. So I have another. Sorry. Please continue.
I was done. You can go.
Oh,
it's all good.
I have a question after hearing a lot of this. How has your events changed over time? Because you mentioned earlier that it started for PvP, if I remember correctly, and then branched out from there. Why branch out into like a general group with doing game nights and stuff like that versus where you were? What caused those changes and what are they?
It's because we realized the reason why we did those changes is because we realized that making these changes would probably help people to be more active as well. Because we realized that people were getting, more tired of doing the PvP constantly, PvP all the time, where nothing really changed. It's just the same old, And also we made constantly team deathmatch or free falls, which is why we also say we don't do free falls much anymore. We're trying to avoid that. But we changed it up to make gaming nights and hangout events, and also probably at some point a movie night as well, when one of us has time for it. But the reason why we did that is because I said it made people more active, because if there was different things, different events, different things to do, and they even get to vote on it even. When I do a gaming night, most of the time I make a vote, like a voting poll in the Discord. Be like, what do you want to play? And be maybe horror themed, or like maybe a race theme, like where you have to like drive around a car and race each other, or like a hide and seek theme or whatever it can be. And people just vote on it, and we choose that game that is voted the most, and we play it.
Okay. All right.
So people feel more included to it as well.
That's actually pretty awesome that you do that for your community. What was the general response when it was initially brought into the change from PvP only to general hangouts and other things, may I ask, from the group?
Oh, people were all right with it. Nobody was really complaining much about it, because we did it slowly as well. Like, we kind of slowly started doing more gaming nights and all that. And just fully branched it in. Like, not many people have been bothered by it, but I also think it's because a lot of the old people that used to be there back in the day, they're not really there anymore. Because some of them have probably gotten really busy, maybe some have gotten families or got some more school to attend to, or work, or whatever it can be. Or maybe it's just not something for them anymore. And they decide to not be there anymore, or leave, or whatever it can be, and that's totally fine. So I don't think anybody has a problem with, considering that most of the people are new, and some of the people that are old are saying this is great, because it also makes them, be able to join without having to, standing up 24/7 and shoot things, and they actually can sit down and probably do something like that instead.
Okay. So what has been the general vibe of the group changed as like the guard shifts from people who initially created it into all the new people that are running it and taking part? Has the feel of the group changed, the personality?
I think so, a little bit. We still, as we say, quote unquote, like goofy, funny people, whatever you can think of, like chaotic people. We still like that. I would say we had gotten more lenient about things. We have been more calm about things. We not, like, for example, back in the day we used to do staff meetings 24/7. We don't rarely do that anymore. We only do them when it's like really, really important. And that hasn't been an issue. We hadn't done that in, like, I think last time we did it was 5 months ago.
Oh wow.
So that changed a lot. And people there that just know they can be themselves, they can have more fun, and we have a lot of people just like being themselves and having a lot of fun, and that's still the case from back in the day. So we had changed a little bit, but not a lot.
Okay. So something I was like to ask about is the avatars. Do you guys use regular public avatars, or do you guys make your own in house? And how accurate to the original material are they?
So yes, we make our own. Well, technically, the guy we had, our friend or the founder, make the avatars, or he made them. He had now stopped and started making more Warhammer-wise avatars, but he starts doing our avatars once in a while. He gave me the assets to work on them with people and all that can be trusted, and he also needs to talk to them, obviously, because it is his assets. He wants to make sure that, you know, the people we're gonna give it to is not just gonna leave and make their own ship of his things. But needless to say, we do make our own stuff. These avatars are made by the owner and founder. For example, this one is made by the founder. He made this specifically for me. It's on my account, but it's made by him. So it's mostly the other avatars that are public. It's made by him. So it's for our group. And how accurate they are to the thing as well. Pretty much really accurate, in my opinion. Considering that we literally have a face under the helmet even.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna show it. It might not be that pretty for the audience. I'm just saying, because the face is not probably. It's not really pretty, but it looks like this.
Oh.
Which is Tamora Morrison, actually the first actor for the Clone Troopers.
Oh, wow.
He's the one that was part of the movies back in the early 2000s.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
It is. He's an awesome actor as well. He has an awesome voice. He's just cool as hell. But that's how accurate it is. Like I even have a scar on this guy because he has a scar in the animation that is made by George Lucas, actually, like the Lucasfilm. That's what it's called. But the Lucasfilm made an animation series about it, and yeah, he had a scar, and Cole put a scar on him. We even have the accurate weapons for it.
All
that. We even have this one as well, which is an iron disruptor. It's also accurate. It's basically a big EMP. He's the same.
That's really awesome.
So
hey,
yeah.
Ghost, do you have, when somebody comes in and stuff like this, do you request them to give them a storyline on their stormtrooper and a background that they make up or anything like that?
Oh no, not at all. Actually, we don't really care about that. People can do it if that is. We have like this VRC name thing where you can put in your your bio about your clone and all that, and your CT number, but you don't really have to do that. We don't really care as long as you're having a good time. We just the only thing we say, like, hey, when you join the group, you just do whatever. If you want to make your own number, make sure that it's not the same number as somebody else's, and always make sure that your name is not a profanity or something racist or anything like that, because that's the only thing we ask for. Besides that, you just go in and have fun. And we even have we do have also like a cadet training, for example, but that's like obligatory. Like, you're not forced to do it. You can do it if you want to. However, when you go into an event, you will be explained how to do the PvP system, for example, just so you're aware of it, so you don't get confused.
Okay, well then I'll ask this question as well. When someone comes in and joins and takes part of the cadet training, what happens in that? And tell us about the ranking system as well a little bit. What does each of the ranks do, and how would you obtain the other ranks?
So yes, that is kind of what we do. If it is, I can kind of explain a little bit about it.
Go ahead.
I just need to pull out the thing first. Give me a second, because it's in the Discord server. I don't remember it by mind. I actually by hand, because, well, bad memory.
It's all good.
But,
don't worry about it. It's all good. I understand. I have a smooth brain, so I understand the lack of memory.
That's good. That's very good to hear. Same here,
So
my friend.
that's what you call that? That's what you call it, line?
Yes, there's very little wrinkles up there
to
obtain and keep information. It just slides right off.
Same here, honestly. Like, I'm not the brightest either. People can say a joke to me and take me like 10 minutes to realize it.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow.
But yes, so when it comes to the thing, when you join the group, for example, you're cadet, which means you've done 0 battles, nada. You're just joined in for, like, just began, you just want to have fun and all that. So this is what I explained to a person who's doing a cadet training.
Hmm.
And I'd be like, there's also a trooper rank, which is after 2 battles, you become a trooper, which means you can like be like the basic classes, which is infantry, specialist, sniper. Like specialist is a sniper, and medic, engineer, not an engineer, but medic, officer, and so on, and also heavy. So those are the basic classes, and then after 5 battles, you become a corporal, which means you can be like an enforcer, infiltrator, stuff like that. And that is like where you can be like a Republic commando, which is like a special force that's really strong. You know, he can do everything, but he's really slow. And then there's an infiltrator, which is an arc trooper that moves really fast, but it's not as strong. And then 15 battles is like command units, and in my opinion, that means basically you're allowed to use everything that you possibly can get your hands on. Oh yeah, by the way, the basic classes also include our vehicle classes. We have vehicles, we have like a Y-wing, I believe, and all that. They can actually fly around and bomb shit. Like they can shoot down on people and whatnot. You also have a transport vehicle that can fly around, and we have like a bunch of things. Also tanks.
Oh wow.
But yes, I think there's of course sergeant, major, second lieutenant, but those are like more like some ranks. They're like one of the ranks I believe we do not know what to do about. And I think it's just like where we kind of give them to if they've been there long enough or anything like that, or if it's gonna be a staff rank. I'm not too sure right now. I do not remember them like off the top of my head. But it's basically where like I explained that to them, and then I explained them the PvP system, how it works, that you have to turn off your safety settings, nameplates when you're in a battle, and remember there's something called latency because it's VRChat. VRChat is not really built for this, you see. So you have to shoot a little bit ahead of people to make sure you can actually hit them. It depends on the like basically of the ping as well. So my ping is normally like 125 doing US East server, so I have to like get shot at from a little bit like in front of me.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the person that has like ping on 8, we do not have to worry about that really because they're like having the best ping ever.
So I do have an interesting question. How does the PvP system work you guys use? Is it in world or on Avatar? And yeah, how does that work? And it sounds like as well through all the ranks there are different like roles, or do those pertain to PvP? Like the classes as you mentioned?
So the classes works like for example the heavy. The heavy is a strong guy. He has a minigun basically, and he has a shield that can pop up to his like normal basic rifle, machine gun rifle. He moves really slow though. When he pulls out his C6, he's gonna get a debuff that makes him slow, but he's gonna get a shield buff that makes him strong.
Okay.
That's how it works basically. And for example, me, I'm a commander class, so I move really fast. But I also have a shield buff, which is basically if I turn it on now, let's say if I turn on my thing on and I'm standing really close to you, you will get the shield buff as well.
Oh,
but
wow.
also have a thing that gives a debuff. This is my Iron Disruptor. It makes you not able to move at all. And how it works is basically we pull you through a world that has the PvP system, because it doesn't work in like the cadet pod, for example. It wouldn't work in there, but it will work here in the place we are at right now, as long as we have this system on. And it will work like where, for example, we go into this world and I put my weapon out, and let's say if I shoot you like that, and I hit you end up. Excuse me, I need to. my controller started spinning for some reason, but when I hit you, then you will start losing health, and you see that on a health bar. And when that health bar goes to 0, you respawn. You'll be forced to respawn. Like it's gonna literally forcefully respawn you, so you don't have a choice. Then you just get back into battle and fight and keep fighting. So it's needless to say, imagine Star Wars Battlefront 2, but in VR.
Oh wow. That's pretty awesome. So what is the largest battle you guys have had with, and what have been some of your favorite collabs with PvP?
Oh, so the largest battle is definitely the ones that I explained earlier. It was the Umbara battle. 60 people, I believe, maybe a little over 60. It was a hell of a battle. It was also very scary because you couldn't see anything. It was really dark, and there was these tentacle monsters that would grab you and eat you if you walked too close to them and all that. It was like terrifying. I was leading a squad and I was walking through the forest, and suddenly I hear 2 of my people screaming. I turn around, they got grabbed by these tentacles and got eaten. And I was like, oh well, we gotta keep moving. Like that was, I couldn't do anything about it. And one of my most memorable battles. I would say I was doing PGKT last year during Halloween.
Yeah.
We did the Ewok hunt for the PGKT. I believe it was last year, if I'm not wrong. And not in 2023, but basically. I remember we did that one, and that was very memorable. It was very fun. I know like a few people enjoyed that a lot as well. Like a lot of people did. I sure as hell had fun with it. It was very scary as well, and I even had some people like with me, some of the people that weren't a part of the group yet, and they said they thought it funny because they heard the clone trooper literally saying, "If you hear anybody scream like a little girl, it ain't me." And I thought it was really funny because after that they heard the person scream like a little girl, and that was me screaming like that because I saw an Ewok jumping in my face. But that was a memorable one. That was really fun, and those people loved it, and they joined the group even and was part of it for a little bit.
Oh wow! So how long have you guys been going to PJKT, and do you guys enjoy your time there, may I ask?
I think we started 2022 maybe because I think because I think the first time we did something where I was there was VRCon. But then we changed over to PJKT because they contacted us about it, as far as I remember. And even in one of our roles, we have like a picture of our first PJKT event that we had, which we were like, there was gonna be an interview with somebody who was gonna go over and interview us for a little bit. I got told not to say anything because they only didn't trust me because he thought I was gonna say a lot of profanities. But I'm like, no, I got this. If it is, I'm gonna try and keep myself together. Like I'm not gonna swear too many times. But I got to say a few things, I remember, and I was really proud of that because I was very nervous. I had a lot of anxiety for it. But that was like our first time, and we enjoy it a lot. We love it. I love it a lot. I love being there. I love going to the booths, to my own booth, and sit there, and talk to people to come up and be like, "Hi, what's up? How's it going? I want to hear about the group." And I can't shut up. As soon as you make me talk about the group, I won't shut up. I would talk about it for like 2 hours if it is, because I love it so much. It's so fun to be here. We had people joining us just because of me just standing there and being like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" And like being all, having a lot of movement, jumping around, being basically really ADHD, autistic kind of thing. Just having a hell of a good time. And I loved that. And I still do, and I love to go to other like booths, and see how people are doing there. Like I know for some few people that are part of some other groups, and I go up and say hi to them and see about their group. However, like I listen to the group, and I never joined them because I am the leader of this group, so it's gonna be really hard for me to do anything else in other groups, of course. But I still love listening to them, and it's just friendly. Like there's a lot of friendly people. There's a lot of nice people. The staff there is pretty nice as well, and pretty sweet towards people as well. Just trying to keep the whole thing at bay so it doesn't get too confusing for people, which I love. It's just generally fun. I enjoy it.
Okay, because I remember this past summer was my first PJKT, and I remember sitting at our booth and I saw like stormtroopers run by. There's the LPD, the Warhammer community, all waging war on the LPD. What were some of your favorite moments over the years in PJKT that things have happened or people you've talked to, things you've done?
It's probably because it's probably the LPD last year because they know me. I got arrested like 46, 47 times by now. they look. There's a lot of there's a lot of the pictures where I'm like literally throwing it back, like jerking as a jerk, and that they took off me. It's easy to find. You just look after my name in there, and you see me getting pinged a lot. But no, they went up to me and said GhostDK, or actually no, they probably said my CC2224 Cody to be more, roleplay like. They were like that. We have a warrant for your arrest. And I looked at them and I said, well, crap. And then after a while, when they started pointing their guns at me, I just said, what's that over there? They turned around. I just ran like a motherfucker towards like sorry for swearing there, but I ran towards like one of my friends' group. I think it was like the Ultras, and I'm like, please hide me. And Kore just looked at me and said, I'm not gonna hide you. And he just went like, he's right here. I said, you bitch. And I just started running even faster. And I got chased around for a long time. They arrested me, put me towards the like little booth and took a screenshot and took a little picture of me. That was really fun. Like, those guys can be some goofballs sometimes, and I love it. That was one of my memorable ones. And also that, we actually had a clone group coming up to us and saying hi. Another clone group. Because fun fact about that, clone groups hadn't talked to each other for many years because one another it's always like that with other groups that is the same thing. They're not gonna probably like each other, or the leaders won't probably like each other, and they won't listen to the other groups and stuff. But this leader just went up to us and we're like, hello, neighbor. And I said, oh, shit, it's one of them. And I just waved back and they went up and talked to us. They were really sweet people. That made me really happy. We even did like a few collabs with them.
Oh, really?
Awesome guys. Really awesome guys. I love them.
Oh, now did those collabs start because you met at PGKT or did you guys know each other prior?
Because we met at PGKT. We met each other doing VRCon before, but back then they had some different leaders that didn't want to do anything with us. But they changed into a hangout group instead now. And when we met them at our third PGKT, I believe we were, that's where we started talking and we started hanging out and we started doing collabs with each other.
Oh, wow.
Like gaming nights and stuff like that. Okay.
So how, during the last 3 years there, did you have many collab opportunities spread out from PGKT, your time there? And what were some of the things you did with those groups? Oh, I'm here to interrupt your current video, ask you a favor. Down in the description, down that way, is a link, metaversedegen.card.co, which you have a whole bunch of other places. If you wish to continue following us, we have Twitter, which I run for us, which you get updates and other stuff and random thoughts from me. We have a Discord where Raptor, I, and the entire crew and all the other people we know will be over there hanging out. We game there fairly regularly or hang out in there, so feel free to go over that way and come chat with us. We'd love to meet you. We have a Spotify now, surprise. Everything from a couple weeks ago forward, we'll have our Spotify content on Fridays. If I remember, we'll put some of our old content forward, but we're going to keep up with our current content on Spotify. So if you wish to watch it there or listen to it there, it'll be there for you as well. Also we have a Patreon, which we have a whole other show, which we haven't been keeping up with, but we're doing our best. But we have a whole other show there for you as well. We would like to give a huge thanks to some of our supporters over that way, which is Future Oracle, Aliquum, Niche, and Forbidden Zero, all of which we thank you very much for everything, and hopefully we'll see you around and you continue to enjoy the content. Enjoy the current video. Bye-bye.
So, obviously the ones that are done with the most is the Warhammer groups. No kidding, they're the ones that are like PvP as well, because that's what we do, we have fun with them. But besides that, we haven't really done any collabs, perhaps with any other groups, besides the clone group as well. Because it's pretty hard to do it with those sim RP groups, because we're the exact opposite. We're just a bunch of idiots, basically, in a good way. Not that we are actually morons, but we are just having a fun time. But the one that we did when we did the tours with the the clone group that we met, we did a gaming night, and what kind of gaming that was? I think we played Keep Running together, and that was really fun. Because if I'm not wrong, I heard one of them scream really loudly while getting killed by that guy from It's Raining Meatballs, the police officer from that movie. Ran towards us, and the last thing I heard was that guy screaming, and then I died, and I was sitting on the floor laughing really hard because I couldn't breathe at all. I thought it was really funny. So that's kind of one of the gaming, that's what we did with that group, and we've done it with them maybe 2 times, and the last time we did was a birthday party, I believe. No, it was they celebrated their anniversary, and we got invited. I was not there for that long because I had to do stuff the next day when I worked, but I told everybody else that was with me, stay there for as long as you like. The people here are awesome. Don't be afraid of talking to them. And yeah, they were really sweet people. I like them. So it was really fun.
Okay.
But that's what we've done with groups like that.
Oh, well, thank you for explaining that. And another question is the world we're in now, we're in an arena. How long have you guys been doing this for, and what kinds of things do your own tournaments and stuff here? How did this world come to be and the others you use?
So the way it started was we wanted to have a Club 79s, a hangout world for ourselves, which is not our, for example, back then we had the Venator ship that we used a lot for our meetups and also hangouts. But we kind of got tired of that. We want to have something more chill, something more calm, where we have a little video player where people can watch some stuff or listen to some music, whatever, or make some drinks up there at the bar. And Kore, he went he just went let me make an arena as well. I think we're also going to have tournaments in here from time to time, because we do have tournaments. We used to have them in other ones, but after we got this one, we started doing it in here. We used an avatar we had that has a sword most of the time. Oh, but actually, for one of the first times in here, we used an avatar with a sword, and it was like a Senate Commando, I believe it's called. And they had like this Warhammer sword, and they just fought against each other, killed each other. And the last one to win would basically, the last one to stay alive in the end would be the one to win a customized avatar.
Oh wow!
Because you get a customized, so when you hit first, second, and third, I think first and second gets a customized avatar, and also third. And the rest of them, like, they're just gonna try another time, you know.
Oh wow!
But we make it so that people actually have like a reward for that. Of course, right now at the moment we have some people still learning some avatar work and stuff. So if we ever do a arena fight like this again, like a tournament, I'll probably just say you can have a funny role in the Discord for now until we like get some stuff sorted out with the avatar work.
Ah.
Like they can name the role whatever they want to, basically. But yeah, no.
Do you guys plan on bringing
that's what we usually
those
do.
back? The tournaments at some point, whenever you get them figured out?
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, we will not do that like once a year if it's stood to us. Because we would love doing it. Considering, wait, hang on, let me just do it. I need to position my headset proper. But we really want to do it like once a year if it stood to us, because we would like to do it because it's fun, it's good for people, it's like, you know, testing your skills, testing your like reflexes, kind of thing like that, seeing who's the best fighter for the year. So they get like also the United Republic champion role as well in the Discord, plus the avatar they're wishing for. Like for sure, when I started learning how to make the PvP system work and all that, and so with the others, we're gonna definitely start making customs for people that win the tournaments as fast as we can.
Okay.
The people gotta be patient though, because we have our own lives as well, of course. Like we're not we're not one of them Discord moderators that sit there like all night in their fucking room and texting all the time. We actually do other stuff as well, but no, we definitely want to bring it back. That's 100% the thing we're gonna do.
Awesome. So, what has been some of the most memorable battles or tournaments that you've had, and tell us about some of the fights and what you remember of it.
One of my favorite fights probably were the Battle of Megiddo we did. It was a pretty big map we had made, that Core made for us. It's basically this really big map with a few bridges, and the bridges are the ones that like connects to the platforms, and you have to cross those bridges to get to these platforms, and you have to kill people to get through there, obviously. And there was these checkpoints, and we did clones versus droids, or basically the Republic versus the Confederacy of the Independent System, or CIS, as they're called. And I remember we had the creator of the Avatar PvP system with us, named Fluff, and that was the first time we tried the PvP, like the PvP battles with us. And I remember he was like, "Oh God," all the time because he saw people dying next to him and all that. He was like hiding at a rock. And I ran up to him, and I just went in my clone voice like, "Get up, trooper, we got this, let's go," right? And as soon as I said that, and I was about to yell for the Republic, I heard somebody say, "What's those wrist rockets?" I see multiple rockets flying towards me, and the last words that Fluff heard me say was just, "Ah, shit," when I died. That was the last thing I said, and he said that was the funniest shit ever, but he also got PTSD from that. Because he saw like the memorable Commander Cody die from the events of Megiddo.
That sounds like a hilarious time. You say that reminded me of a story. I think we heard it was from the Daleks, and they were in their own PvP battle. I think it was Halo or Star Wars, I don't remember, but a giant ship comes in the sky. So one of them yells, "Nuke it," and then they nuke it.
Okay, so I remember that. That was a hell of a fucking battle. So needless to say, it was supposed to be a normal TDM, but we were planning on making events with them, and that was the only time they had like plans, right? Oh, that time. So we did an event with that. I remember it because we flew in with the LAATs to like get to a spawn point as immersive when we were. And I remember I was in the middle, sitting there looking at people, and I was like, "Are you ready, boys? Let's do this!" Right? I was just like, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna kill these guys, and we're gonna win the battle. And I remember I was standing in this like middle area. It was called No Man's Land, I think it was the map, which is basically like a big area for like where the enemy can spawn from different locations, but the defenders had to stay in this one like fort looking thing. And I was, I remember this clearly. I was standing at the wall, shooting down at them, killing them, and all that. And I had a person coming up to me and was like, "Commander, I don't think we can hold this. When don't worry, we got this." Suddenly, the explosion came. He died. I survived somehow. I don't know how, but he died. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was hurt, so I ran up to a medic, and I noticed there was only like a few of us left. And I got healed by the medic, and I went into the comms and said, "We need reinforcements right now, because you're not gonna hold on for much longer." And as soon as I said that, I saw the medic die right in front of me. I turned around and I saw about 4 Daleks. And I pulled my rifle out and shot them all 4 of them. Then 5 Daleks came. I shot them. Then 6, I shot them. So then 7 and then 8. And when we came to 9, I died because I can't defend myself like all alone. Like when there come that many. Like the only reason why I survived for that long was because I was running like hell around in a circle all the time to make it difficult and moving my position all the time. But that was a really fun one. We flew in with LATs trying to defend, take the over again. And I remember like we were flying these transport vehicles as they're called. And one guy thought it would be funny to make a memorable line from one of the episodes from the series, where the clone says, "Good thing that these box can't aim," but instead of saying that, he said, "Good things that these tin cans can aim," right? And as it happened in the episode, we got shot down and died, right as he said it.
Yep.
And that was it. And in the end, we were like, we're gonna lose it. I even had like a speech for the people. We're like, "We can do this, boys. Just keep on moving. Don't give up," right? And we were marching in as well. Because after like the LAT film, we marched in a bunch of clone troopers. Just imagine like a bunch of guys wearing this kind of armor, like blue, yellow, orange, whatever, with a really big walking like dog-looking thing with a cannon on top. And having a guy in front of us with the Republic flag marching with us, and we just had the Republic theme song being played while we were moving in. I remember we went up this hill and I had the guy with the flag and we're like, "Charge!" and he died instantly. I ran towards like a little pothole, hit there, and the only thing I heard was people yelling, "My leg!" and all that, because people were being so immersive in there because they're fun. And like, "I need a medic!" and all that. And yeah, we didn't capture it, so the only thing we had left was to put in the Venator ship, which is the big shit that the Daleks talked with you about.
Yep.
And we told them to nuke the place. And there's even a recording from the Dalek side, I remember. I know that. They can find the recording, I know they can. Where one of the Daleks was like, "They're nuking us! They're nuking us!" like screaming and all that before they died. And it was the funniest thing ever.
I remember.
It was so beautiful.
I remember seeing that video from them because after the interview with the Daleks, I was like, "Can I see this?" And they sent it, and it was the funniest fucking thing. You hear them yelling "nuke" and then and the whole ship destroyed. This is the funniest fucking thing, I'll tell you.
It was fucking beautiful. I looked at it from a hill, and I was just standing there like feeling really badass, right? Because back then, it was I could feel badass as much as I could. I couldn't really feel it because I didn't feel immersive without like having full body because I didn't have it back then. But after I got it now, I feel more immersive with it, and it's also really fun to do so. But we even have like we have a few videos from some of our events on our Instagram. I remember that. We also have a Twitter where there's a few pictures.
Ooh.
There's even a picture of me standing with a bunch of female clones, I think, where literally says Commander Cody is getting bitches on the caption. I myself have an Instagram for this character, and it's called like Commander Cody of VRC or something like that. I'm gonna we're also like talking about saying I'm part of the United Republic in there. I need to update that one because that one is like 3 years old and a lot of things has changed. But no, either way, like we have a few videos from like good times, funny events, and all that. We also have a YouTube channel that people also can see what we are. So yeah, like,
oh wow,
it's also just called United Republic. It's easy to find.
Oh, the funny thing about that whole story of the nuke and everything you told us, that was actually one of the Daleks' favorite battles or PvP moments they've had, was that very moment. So that the thing between you two left a really good impression on them in terms of like their favorite hilarious moment, by the way.
Oh, believe me, it's also one of our memorable ones. I just totally forgot about that one. Funny enough, I don't know how, because that was the like funniest, craziest shit I've ever seen. But the Daleks, they're fun to fight with. We still fight with them from time to time, whenever it is. We still have a good time with them. Like I remember, like we fought against them a few weeks back, and I basically just jumped in and killed a lot of them. I remember one event with them. The funniest thing ever. I jumped in. I was playing because I play like Viking rock music through my microphone, if it is, or anything like that. I also play like another one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a pop rock culture thing. And I remember when I jumped into the battle, I heard one of the Daleks go like, he thinks he's the main character. Shoot, even like Brock thinks he's the main character. Shoot him, kill him, whatever. Like in a funny way, right? He said that like that. As soon as he said that, I killed him, and I killed 3 more, and another one, and I think 2 more. And I was like, well, it seems like I am the main character now. Like, obviously, I died right after I did that because I had 0 health left. I was just really lucky, I think, basically, because they are pretty strong. So yeah.
Oh, so I'll ask you the same question as I did then that led to the nuke story. What has been some moments in PvP battle that have stuck with you? Events, specific things, different collabs. What within that arc of a similar thing? What would you say?
One of my memorable ones was probably like, I would say one of them could be the first battle against the Ultramarines as well, because I remember that we were fighting, and I don't know, you know that song, like, or not the song, like the dance for Take On Me, where he's like dancing like that.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that.
Yeah, imagine like a very big Ultramarine running towards you like that, and then proceeds to drop kick you.
I can see why that'd be funny.
That happened to me. The last thing I said was like, "Mama," like I was like, "Mama, please help me." Like I was like, "Oh no." That's probably been one of the more memorable ones as well. Like with a collab with the group, with another group. I would also say the Blood Women's. We also have some awesome battles with them. But one of the ones that I remember from this community where we just fought against each other was probably the zombie infection. Event we did for the first time during an Halloween, because you had the bayonet clones, which is like where they had like the long ass rifles with the knife on, and they stamp people like that. I got killed by accident by one guy because he was an idiot putting it up too early, and I died. So I was like, "You bitch!" I turned into a zombie because of that. So I charged at him. And the last thing I heard from him was like, "Help me!" And then he fucking died. Like he literally screamed really loudly because of that. That was a great time. Like if I need to pick, actually, in my fully opinion, if I need to pick something favorite, like something that is my favorite, it's really hard to pick. Like I have a lot of events that I always loved.
Well, tell us some of them.
Because like,
you don't have to pick just one. If you want to list a bunch, tell us a bunch. Honestly, I live for hearing these. I could listen to you just start talking about battles personally because it sounds fun.
So, one of my favorite ones that I did was, so we fought against the Death Watch not long ago. This is one I remember, because I don't know how, because normally you wouldn't be able to dodge a person coming with a weapon towards you really well, considering the latency is a thing, right? But apparently my hitbox followed me, like going up and down. I don't know if this new or something, but God, for the love of God, I love it. Because I went towards a guy with a big ass sword. He started swinging it at me, right? I'm gonna kind of recreate it.
Okay.
So he started swinging at me. I was just like, I was walking towards him, and hang on, let me just set it up proper so I don't end up hitting something. Or end up like
yeah, there you go. Break some shit that you didn't want to show, and we actually cut it up. Goddamn, on here going, well, they want a controller. How do you know? Because he just cussed at it and hit the floor, and his arm somewhere else.
But yes, I ran towards him with my 2 favorite weapons to choose. This is the Iron Disruptor and this one. I ran towards him bang, 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 and trying to kill him. I didn't kill him that easily because he was a bit stronger than me. He ran towards me, trying to swing his sword towards me whenever, and I just went like this. I started shooting it at him again, and I went like this when he tried to hit me once more. And I didn't get it. He didn't hit me whenever. Like I was obviously moving around like this as well, right? But he didn't hit me once, which I was surprised of. until like he started hitting me a bunch. But I still feel really awesome, and I'm so sad that I didn't get a recording of it because that would look really dope. But I never felt so cool in my whole life. That was my one of my memorable ones. We also did do where we put out a. I'm gonna stand up now because now I'm always standing up, so excuse me for that.
Nope, it's okay.
But I remember we when we were as we brought the battle is where we pulled out something that is called a juggernaut. Is probably like. Well, let's just say it's really big. I think it's even bigger than this area right here.
Oh wow!
Like in length and in height, and we pulled that out. And I was ready. I was prepared, and I just sat there waiting on them. And I saw a guy coming out like this, ready to fight. He was ready to kill us. He saw that juggernaut, and he just turned around and left. Like he was like, "Yeah, I'm good.
I'm out of here. Forget this. This ain't my thrill no more. I'll just kill me and get it over with."
It was really funny to look at, and I loved it so much. And he, like, obviously he came back with his friends, but when he tried to run away, I started shooting at him, and then he started doing this, like trying to escape. But he came back with his friends. I killed him a bunch, then I died, and then I realized I was the wrong class, got into the wrong class, like right class, and I became like basically like the defense for a long time. But they didn't show up after a while because the event was supposed to be over, so I just turned my cannons towards my friends, my allies, and just started shooting them instead.
What made you want to shoot your own
one of them got so confused because I respawned and I just heard one of them be like, "I got killed somehow and I don't even know why or how." And I looked at him and went like, "Well, that's because I kind of did explode you with my cannons. So I'm sorry about that, but I got bored." There's some goofy stuff that always can happen there. Now I remember one really good one. The funniest shit I ever saw was a few years back. I remember this clearly because this is a memorable thing that I think nobody would ever forget. Basically, I was running into battle. I looked around for a bit, and I shit you not, I saw a clone trooper running in with 2 normal wooden chairs as like fucking weapons.
Chairs?
Normal?
Fucking normal chairs? Okay, I want to keep going on this one.
The wooden chairs your grandparents would have, like like living room and shit. Yeah, he had those, and he was just like running like this. I said, "I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you!" And I died right there, and I got killed. And I was like, "It's good. I need to laugh this shit off because that was too funny." Like I've seen so many things like that that's been so hilarious to look at. I even saw we had a guy that had like a seat on his on his back for Kore when they were, and he sat on the Kore sat on his back. Oh, I think it was Kore. Maybe somebody else, I can't remember. But he was he had a machine gun on top of this guy, and he was just sitting there being like, "Go, my noble steed, go!" while shooting. And that shit.
Used him as a horse. Used him as a horse. Oh my god.
Again, there's some memorable things, and when people join these events and they see this, they will never forget it again, and they will probably always remember it. Most people do. Some people can have a bad memory like me, that kind of will forget something until you kind of mention it to me, like you did with the big shit that Alex explained about. But I remember most of them because those were really fun ones, and I loved it so much. There have been so many laughs. There's been so many good times. So it's just awesome. I really love it.
So I have a fun question for you. Is it true clone troopers can't hit anything?
Whoa. Now you're gonna make me go a little nerdy here.
Yes.
You're gonna make me go a little bit nerdy here. So the funny thing is the stormtroopers. So there's a difference between the clones and the stormtroopers. The stormtroopers, they have this form helmet. It looks really weird. There's these two it looks like goggles instead of this T-looking thing as you see on my helmet. So there's a difference you can see with the stormtroopers. It looks like they have goggles in the middle of the face on the helmet. Plus, they're all white. Meanwhile, the clone troopers, they can be white as well, but they also have orange, as you see here. I have that with the pattern and all that. Plus, my blaster bolts are blue. But fun fact about that as well: the reason why they couldn't aim, and people say they couldn't aim, is because of doing this one movie they kept missing Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and all that when they tried to escape this Imperial ship, I think it were. But that was because Darth Vader told them to miss them, and they weren't allowed to kill them, but only stunt them or capture them, basically.
Ah.
They didn't succeed, but they succeeded to put a track on the device, the ship, which is why they could find them later on in the movie.
Interesting. I had no idea.
But Disney decided to be like, you know what, we're just going to make that a meme now that they can't hit anything now, and it's going to be hilarious. So I guess Stormtroopers can't aim, and people think we're Stormtroopers too, so whenever I got told I can't aim, I'd be like, well, I'm different, because I'm autistic. I'd be like... It's a fun one that you asked. That's a good question, actually. that actually took me by surprise. I like that.
I've been thinking about it this entire time, and I've been kind of tempted to see if you'd answer as Commander Cody, like as a little funny roleplay moment, just as a... I've been thinking about this whole time. I'm sorry.
I could just be like, a stormtrooper. I'm not a stormtrooper. I'm a clone. That's how I answer most of the time, or I'd be like, to hell with you. When it is. People find it so funny to actually trying to do that, like with me, trying to fuck with me like that. It's just I love my interactions. I love the way I do it because, yes, I do, like as you heard, I'll change my voice up a bit there. If I was going to do it fully, I would have like a voice modifier on, like it sound like I have basically the helmet on. I get funny interactions with that. Some people think I'm using like one of them Turtle Beats headsets or whatever they're called, you know, the one with the very crappy mic.
Yep.
But when they realize I'm using a headset, I'd be like, oh, you're using a voice modifier, aren't you? And I'd be like, yes, you're correct. But definitely had my funny interactions with it. I had people like fan or shit. That's what I'm talking about. Luckily, it was an empty soda bottle. It was an empty soda bottle.
What the hell was that? Wow, we got Ghost knocking down shit. Okay. Well, maybe, I know we're in an arena, Lion, but man, whoever's shooting from a distance, man, is knocking over his drinking bottle. He wants to make sure he doesn't.
Yeah, it happens. It was just an empty Coca-Cola bottle. Luckily, like I have a soda can right here that is like filled up. So I'm so lucky that I didn't spill that one because that would land over my phone. Like I have people, like I said, as I said before, like fangirling all this, having it like a head of a time with it. They fucking love it, and. Like people get surprised sometimes when I do the clone voice, because normally I do the clone voice constantly. I don't talk normally because I like doing the bit. But whenever I do, people sometimes just look at me like this. Be like, what? This is not you? Who are you? I even had a guy telling me to start using my voice changer when I talk normally because he didn't believe it was me. He thought I was using a voice changer.
Oh.
Which is quite interesting.
Oh, sounds interesting. So among what we're going to do now, let's see what time. Oh, okay, perfect. So I'm going to ask you last couple of questions before we close up shop. First of which is the name you use, where did it come from, and why do you still use it? As well as the United Republic, where'd that come from too?
Oh, you mean like my actual gamer tag, right?
Yeah, the GhostDK.
See, this is a very funny story. It started, so do you guys remember back then when Minecraft came out?
Yeah, I remember Minecraft.
Java Minecraft.
Yep.
Yes. When it started, you could choose your own username. I chose that because the reason why I chose it was I'm a big fan of a game called Ghost Recon, especially a game called Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Yep.
That was one of my favorite ones, and also Call of Duty Ghost. I really loved the name Ghost for it whenever, and I understood what it was. I didn't really understand what it was when I was a kid until like I searched it up and it meant ghost means like, you know, ooh, spooky, right? I realized that because I wasn't good at English back then. But I changed my name. I made my name to the GhostDK, and I had that ever since. I'd never changed it, like for I don't know how many years now. I think like almost a decade, and I just like keeping it like that. So. Like I even meet people that have the same name, sort of like me, and they'd be like, "You stole my name," and be like, "I have it for almost a decade. You can't say shit." But that's how my name became like that. And the United Republic, I guess it's because most Star Wars names got like for like Clone Crews kind of got taken, so they chose something unique. Which is why they made it to the United Republic, I believe. That's what I know of.
Okay.
Maybe it's just because it sounded catchy and rememberable. If I could say the word, that would be very perfect. People remember it probably easily because like it's easy, it's smooth, like it's literally just like United Republic, or for short, UR. Which is something bad whenever I text it in DMs, people say that I'm saying your. So I have to put like a dot between it so people know it's like the group I'm talking about and not them. Or else be like, who the fuck are you talking about? Why are you talking to me like that or something like that? Be like, man, easy now.
Okay. The last question is the avatar you're using. You explained a bit about before. Why do you use it, and is there anything about it that means anything to you?
So, I'm a Star Wars nerd. Like, obviously, as you can see, I'm wearing the avatar, right? But the reason why I'm gonna get a bit more into the light. I realize we're getting a bit too far. But the reason why I started using it was because I love Commander Cody. Commander Cody is the character that I'm wearing, and I am a big fan of it. And before, believe it or not, before that, I was just wearing a normal, like, as they call it, an ARC trooper, which is like a specialized clone with 2 pistols. Before I became Cody. When it became Cody Core, he made a public version first, and then a little while after, he was being a cheeky bastard, but I would say that. And I was still surprised that he did this. So whenever he was like talking about putting stuff to the avatar, like a flashlight that was working, and he went like, "How cool would it be if it had a knife?" I'm like, "Oh, that would be pretty awesome, right?" And then I found like this asset of another Commander Cody avatar, which looks really awesome, that we found like on Charisma back then, because that's how we used it back then, because, you know, easiest way. We found some public ones that was allowed to be used whenever, because it wasn't part of any groups or whatever and whatnot. So I found this Commander Cody and this 212 package. So what he did was, he secretly made me a custom one without me knowing it.
Oh.
Which is not this one, it's another one that I have. An older version of it, but he made this one for me without knowing it, and that's why he asked about the knife and I talked about the flashlight. So one day he asked me to join him and said, "I have a funny thing for you. I have something I really want to show you. I'm so excited to show you." And I was like, "Sure, I can get on." I saw that, and I just screamed of joy, like, "Yo!" And I screamed so loud that I literally had a neighbor knocking on my door asking me if I was okay.
Wow.
Like, they literally got concerned for me because it sounded like that I was hurt or something. And he was laughing his ass off with it. He said, "Well, I thought about it and I wanted to make you something special because you heard that sort of a lot." And he then had this description for it, saying, "For GhostDK, for all the things, as a thank you for all the things he's done, for showing appreciation." So, like, obviously, like, after he gave me that, I never changed into anything else, and I kept being like Commander Cody no matter what. Even with the newest versions here, as I have now, which is the newest version, I still wear it no matter what. You can't really catch me wearing anything else in public or anything like that. It's very rare because it fits me. I love it, and I just love being it because it also has like cool shit on it. It even has funny emotes on it as well. They have the if you know the Omni-Man stance, right, like, kneel down with the ass cheeks and it has that as well. Which is funny. So that's the reason why I became this guy. That's the reason why I have the CC224 as as the status thing, and that's why I never beat anything else, because I love being it, and I'm also known for being this guy in this group. Trust me, if I started being another like character from the Star Wars universe, people would basically be really weirded out by it. I got told that I should never change because people would feel so freaking weird about me being this guy, not being this guy anymore. Because I've been here for 4 years, basically.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you very much for explaining that. I appreciate hearing your entire tale, and thank you for joining us. It was an absolute honor.
Honor, yes.
The pleasure was mine as well.
So,
I really enjoyed doing this.
One last question for you.
You guys are amazing.
Thank you. One last question. If the audience wishes to find you or the United Republic, where would they go?
So if you want to find me, if you want to talk to me, obviously I'm a PC user and the group is also a PC group. So if you're Chris, you can't join this basically. But if you're a PC user and you're above 15, 16, if you're around the age of 16 or 15, if you're very mature, it depends on it, right? But besides that, if you're around that age or above, feel free to contact me in the Great Park. Or we basically also have this, which is the VRC group.
Let me zoom in on the VRC group so they can see it.
So if you want to join the group, you just go in there, join the group like that. And there will be a Discord link in there, and you can go to the Discord, and you can also contact me in the Discord. My DMs are mostly open. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you're too shy of contacting me on Discord, just go to the Great Pug. Don't worry, I won't bite. I'm not a scary guy. I'm chilling all the time, so feel free to contact me. I'm just there.
Alrighty. Well, thank you again, Ghost. It was an absolute honor. Sorry, Cody, Commander Cody, to speak with you. Well, with that said, this is the point where I ask you, the audience, a question, and you'll have a specific one. I'm sure most of you who have seen Star Wars know these aren't the droids you're looking for. Did you ever have any moments like that in real life where it's like, these aren't the droids you're looking for? What? Huh? What? And we like to hear about those stories of yours. Put it in the comments. We'll read it. We always do. And with that said, as always, Mr. Raptor, you know the thing.
You gotcha. No matter what you do, folks, and I keep saying this over and over again, and just like Lion says, this ain't the raptor you're looking for. Please move on. Please move on. We'll talk to you later. See you next time around.